I don't know. I feel like that was like major hater vibes. He's like, why did he come here? And I'm like, dang, like, did he take your spot? Is that why you're mad? I'm confused.
It's like, who said you could play here in this league?
Hater alert.
Roski making hits.
Hi guys, welcome back.
Good morning.
It's like 7 p.m. It's not morning. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to Let's Talk About It.
Welcome back to our podcast. Thanks for joining us again.
Thank you for tuning in. And we just wanted to say, lo queremos escupar de absolutamente de nadie. No, I'm just kidding. We wanted to say, obviously we apologize for not being able to post how we usually do every other Tuesday due to unforeseen technical difficulties and life just really giving us a kick in the rear. We had to take some time off, kind of just to get everything together again. Yeah, we're not technicians, we're not IT, we're not...
Yet.
Yeah, we're obviously learning it from scratch, but yeah, there's just things that you have to learn as you go, and these are one of them. But yeah, here we are. Welcome back to episode 5 now.
Fabulous 5? The heck?
Yeah, they've been some pretty fabulous episodes, honestly, but...
Yeah.
Even though we're a little bit late to the party, we still wanted to go ahead and review the J. Cole album because it was still a work of art and we still want to talk about it.
Yes, it was nothing less than perfection.
Perfect.
Yeah, it was a force. We both loved the album, so we kind of wanted to talk to you guys about our favorite songs and, just what we thought about everything really in general. Yeah. So, straight off the bat.
Oh, we're playing baseball? Okay.
You're playing bat? I heard that. Me and Billy were obviously talking about it.
Who the heck is Billy? I'm Bay. Straight from 95 South, this album comes out the gate, like shooting, guns blazing, J. Cole, no holds prisoners. It's just amazing, like, to be honest. Like, this album, the off-season, is just a masterpiece, a work of art, nothing less than perfection. For me, it gets a 10 out of 10.
I need to, hide all of your notebooks. This is ridiculous.
Oh, no. Or should I say a 10 out of 10?
I know, glasses too. I'm going bye-bye. But yeah, I think we both agreed that this album automatically makes it into our top 3. J. Cole takes his time writing his music and just perfecting each and every song, putting together just a masterpiece of songs together to make this fire album. For me, yeah, automatically this is top 3. So is For Your Eyes Only and Forest Hills Drive. 2014.
Yeah, those 3 albums right there are probably our personal top 3 albums from J. Cole. Those 3, they have the most replay value and the best storytelling as well, in our humble opinion. 2014, Forest Hills Drive is just so much replay value. You could have heard it months and years after, and it still had the same feel as the first time you heard it. From Wet Dreams to No Role Models, it's just the entire album. It wasn't a miss. And when I first personally heard it, I'm like, there's no way he's gonna top this. There's absolutely no way. There's nothing he can do after this that'll top it. And obviously, I love KOD and For Your Eyes Only, but they weren't on that level. But he proved everyone wrong when he released the Up season. Like it's up in that upper echelon of music, of rap, like poetry. Is simply a genius. J. Cole, perfection.
Yeah, I really like that in this album. He obviously had features. And the fact that at the beginning they were kind of like a secret, like it didn't really say who like was on it, was like the cherry on top, because you're listening to it and you already know he's gonna, drop like Pure Fire, but then you're like, wait, is that Lil Baby? Is that 21 Savage? Like, and it's just like, wow, like he really heard everybody talking about like, is he gonna go like featureless again or what? But yeah, I really like that he takes his time and he doesn't care how long it takes to like put these albums and songs together. In the documentary, I think he said that he had been working on this since like 2016 or like before that. And it just shows like how much detail and how much he's like one of those perfectionists that it needs to be tweaked and no, let's change this bar, let's do that, until it's like, okay, like this is good enough to go ahead and release.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, speaking of the documentary, it really showed you a day in life of J. Cole, and it showed more of his personal side. Yeah, as you said, like in 2016, that's when he was first working on the Up season, and that was after Forest Hills Drive just released, basically like a year and a half after. You see him in the studio, like it's like a normal bedroom studio, just something that any upcoming producer can make for themselves, and you see like he still has that humility factor, and that's what I love about J. Cole. He always goes back to his roots. He doesn't let the fame or the hype, overcloud his mentality or his image. He always reminds himself of where he comes from.
Yeah, like he was using a sock as like his like pop filter for the microphone, and I thought that was really cool. Like that just shows that with like talent and like passion, it doesn't matter the equipment, it doesn't matter, the studio, whatever, like as long as you have that drive, like you can, create whatever you want and it can be like top tier like content. But that like, yeah, watching the documentary, it was like the most inspiring 12 minutes of my life. Obviously I'm not a rapper yet, but Lil Vonnie. Just kidding. No, but it's like he puts into perspective like every day you can better yourself by doing like little things. It doesn't matter if you start off with like the best equipment, best, resources, like just as long as you work on yourself, you don't get too comfortable. That's like the worst part, I think, getting like really comfortable in what you're doing and you're like, all right, like this is good, but like you're not like, I want to do better, like what can I do better, and just finding like little things here and there that you can work on your way there. I think anybody can take that advice and that like his words and kind of apply it to their real life, whether it's if you're a content creator as well, artist, singer, just like even like your day-to-day like job, like your 9 to 5 or any hobbies that you have, as long as you're passionate about it, you can work on it and get better and better, whether it's like one thing per day, per week, whatever you have time for. And I definitely took it as like, wow, like even though we kind of do that, I just felt like, wow, this is just puts into perspective, like we need to go harder, like as much as we can, obviously. But that's kind of how it was with this podcast as well. Obviously, we have no experience doing this or being in front of the camera. Like, we don't have a studio. This is literally like his living room. Like
there's a spot right here.
Yeah. It's like it doesn't matter what environment you're in or the resources you have, as long as you work to make yourself better, I should say. And you get better and better as you go. And I feel like even watching our past episodes, it's been like that. Very first episode was kind of like, eh. And then we just got more comfortable and we learned, obviously, different editing skills and, camera, lighting, like all these different things. And it just comes with it. Like, you have to put in that time to learn.
Yeah, it's like the cliche goes, like Rome wasn't built in a day. Everyone creating content, making music, producing, film, photography, whatever it may be, is a day-to-day process. You have to tell yourself, how can I become better today than I was yesterday? Every step forward, is better than being stagnant or taking steps back. It's a learning experience, and you have to enjoy the ride, the journey. That's part of being successful. Just being able to enjoy the ride and just see all the memories that were created and the people you've met and the things you've learned. Just that goes into being successful, and that's what we're aiming for, God willing. But it takes time. How many months or years it may take. It just consistency is the purest form of greatness.
Like Big Sean's dad says, life is a learning process.
Indeed it is.
Top 5 songs. We kind of agreed more or less on our top 5 songs of the album.
Top 5.
Obviously 95 South was straight off the bat like one of them. We heard it and we're like, we love that he put it as the very first song. Like it sets the tone for the whole album. Mm-hmm. And yeah, obviously it was a great song to begin with. Then Amari, I personally love that song because I have like personal connection to the name Amari. Shout out to Kaylee. Just the song in general, I feel like really well put together.
Yeah, Amari, he shows his storytelling once again. But then after that, My Life would probably be our next favorite song because it hits you with that unexpected feature with 21 Savage and Moray. And like, you listen to it like, oh shoot, he has a feature.
21.
Yeah, 21.
Obviously this isn't like top 5 in order because I think our next 2 songs is like, for me, like 1 and 2, mm-hmm. like my favorite and then my second favorite. For me, my second favorite is Pride is the Devil, just because I like the transition from J. Cole to Lil Baby.
Fire.
Yeah, it was really like well put together because it was like
unexpected.
Yeah,
as well.
You're like, wait, is that Lil Baby? Like it just changes, but they kind of have like the same like tone and like rapping style. Yeah, like so the flow doesn't really stop. Mm-hmm. So I really like that. But just like the moral of the song, pride makes people really ugly. And it's true. I think even if you're overall not a prideful person, you do have moments where your pride kind of takes over, like makes you kind of petty. Yeah, so he says like, having to take like baby mama to court just to see your prodigy, or having to make things harder for your baby mama, or, he says he dropped the pride and he became like a better person, a better artist. And I hear a lot of artists talk about that. Mm-hmm. Like, and I think it's very easy to get caught up like in this like culture where it's like showing off everything that you have. And it's like, it's okay if you come from nothing, if you have nothing, as long as you're doing what you love, you have that talent, it should speak for itself. I feel like obviously I'm not at that level yet. But yeah, I feel like pride has definitely stopped us in certain points of our life, being the bigger person and kind of just letting things go. So I remember like hearing the song for this first time and I was like, dang, like facts. I really like that song.
Facts.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that song as well, obviously because it has Lil Baby in it. And that's one of the top songs out of the album, like you hear it on the radio. For me, my absolute top song is Let Go My Hand, because it paints a picture of him retelling the story of his son telling him, like, Dad, let go my hand, and then he envisions his son's future and wants to pave a way, want to make sure, he has everything he needs and he's prepared for the real life, when people are going to become obstacles and they're going to try him. There's going to be, difficult and tribulations in his life, and it's amazing. Like he doesn't disappoint in that song, and the melodies like in that song as well. It's just How do you say Chef's Kiss?
Chef's Kiss. Yeah. Yeah, I liked it as well just because I also feel like I could relate to it. My daughter just turned 5 and it's like around that age where she wants to do everything like by herself, be independent. And it's like, Mom, like stop. And like, as a parent, you're like, what do you mean? Like, this is my job. You know, I'm supposed to help you. I'm supposed to prepare you. I'm supposed to do like all these things. And it's like, you know, at one point, they're only going to get older and older and they're going to want to figure things out by themselves or just go through and like live through life as they want. And you kind of have to, you know, take a step back, still be there and support them as a parent. And yeah, so I heard that song and I was like, yeah, I can relate. I'm like, Chloe AF. And then on social media, we saw like that basketball video where they're kind of talking about, I think it's one of the players from Africa, if I'm not mistaken, that he's upset that J. Cole, you know, is in the league. And he's like, he's averaging like 1 point a game. And like, you know, he's a whole like rapper, like in America, well, you know, globally. But he thought it was like disrespectful. And, you know, people were talking like, yes, I agree. No, I don't. And I don't know. I feel like I disagree. I feel like it doesn't matter what you do or how many jobs you have, how famous you are. If you love something, like, why not? Why not do it? There's people in the NBA that don't even average 1 point a game and they're getting paid. So why is it so bad that J. Cole's, you know, going to Africa? It's not even like the NBA here, you know, like he's going to like an African league and playing if he wants to play basketball. Like, I see no wrong with that.
Yeah, I see both spectrums because on one side you have a person that probably come from nothing and they've trained their whole life to make it to this stage, you know, to play ball at a professional level. And then you see this guy, you know, with millions of dollars already, like, why is he here? Just, there's no point, basically. But at the other side, J. Cole also came from nothing, you know, and he built his empire, his brand, his name, you know, to a level where he's known, you know, internationally. And basketball just happened to be one of those hobbies and one of his personal, you know, loves that he loves to do. And being able to make it professional league, even just averaging just a couple points a game, you know, so be it. Just, we all have, you know, a hidden, you know, dream we always wanted to fulfill even as a child. So, you know, growing up to an adult, you know, I made it this far. Let's see if I can use my, you know, accolades from this particular, you know, part of my life and transition it somehow to this other, you know, part or, you know, kind of dream or fantasy that I have and making it a reality. So, and that's exactly what J. Cole did. So, yeah, I say props to him.
Yeah, you see a lot of different artists that have reached a certain point in their lives where they've released, you know, a lot of music or have reached just that tier that you're like, okay, I'm comfortable now. I have enough money to support my family and I want to do something different. And that's all about comfort. Again, like pushing yourself out of that comfort zone. Why only make music? Why only be an artist? I know like Ludacris not that long ago became like a pilot. It's like, why not push yourself to different levels in your life where you learn different things and you can do a lot of everything. You don't have to just be a rapper because you've done that for X amount of years. You can be whatever you want to be as long as you apply yourself. I don't know. I feel like J. Cole obviously reached that level because he loves the sport and he has talent. I've seen videos of him like shooting in the gym and he's really good. Just because he might have not been that good in that like 1 or 2 games that he played, doesn't mean he doesn't love the sport and he's not good at it. I don't know. I feel like that was like major hater vibes. He's like, why did he come here? And I'm like, dang, like, did he take your spot? Is that why you're mad? I'm confused.
It's like, who said you could play here in this league?
Hater alert. So that's for our English side. The Spanish side, we have Lunay, who dropped an album as well this past week. And I really liked the album. I had a really hard time picking out just my top 5 songs.
Yeah, this is his, what do you say, his debut album, correct?
Yeah.
El Niño. And he comes up with, you know, straight out the bat, another salsa sample, you know, in the intro. and just how Mike Towers did in his album, I Like Mike. And I like that Lunay is accepting the fact that, yes, he is the youngest.
He's like, I'm a child.
Yeah,
Yes, I know.
he is the youngest male in reggaetonero right now. Yeah, he's accepting the fact that he's not ashamed by it. You know, he's not embarrassed, and I like that. But yeah, this album by itself, like, there's a lot of hits, a lot of
Diversity.
yeah, there is, to be honest, and his wordplay as well. I like it. Like when you mentioned it, TBC, I'm like, what is? I thought it was an acronym, like for something, but
Yeah.
the TBC, but in Spanish, TBC, like I kissed you.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah, I was like listening to the song and I'm like, oh, that's what he means. Like, debe ser.
Mm-hmm.
It's not, I don't know. It doesn't mean anything else. It's literally debe ser.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a hard time picking it just because, like I said, there was a lot of diversity. Like, debe ser was like a lot like slower. We have like La Mini and Pari Debe, like, which those are like perreo songs. And then you have like your lighter reggaeton songs. I just feel like it was a really well-rounded album. And I love how in the last video, I was like, yeah, he's been really quiet. And I'm like, well, okay, yeah, he was preparing to like drop a whole album. I do like to see the newer generation be, you know, so loud, like about their influence, like sampling salseros or like different people who came before them and kind of paying like their respect to that, you know?
Yeah.
I like seeing that because it's like we've all been inspired or we all listen to music that came before us, you know, like from our parents or, you know, whoever we were around that we like still listen to like on salsa on Sundays.
Salsa Sunday.
Yeah. And when we're cleaning like the house and stuff.
Mambo Mondays too.
Oh gosh. Obviously, Le Gusta Que La Vean has to be in our top 5.
Yeah, and I like that he chose that to be his single before he dropped the album because it really set the tone from his entire album.
It was a really catchy song and
chorus as well.
Yeah, so it was a really good song out of the album, and yeah, we were playing that song for a really long time, like before the album came out. I was, yeah, I did. Yeah, it was my song of the week last week as well, so it's funny that now it's like part of a whole album.
Yeah.
The other one was Todo o Nada with Anita. I like that he collabed with Anita after like all the rumors of like them having, or like her having a crush on him, and everybody's like, yo, like, you know, he's 18, right? And she's like in her 20s or something. I like that mix just because you hear her singing in Spanish, and she's actually Brazilian, so she speaks Portuguese. So it's really nice to, again, see like people from different places collabing and just being unified by like music.
Yeah, I like this song, Party TV. Is another, yeah, as another song, like another perreo song, like great to dance to as well.
La Mini also gives you like perreo vibes. It gave me like Joel y Randy like vibes, and yeah, I think it like kind of like took me back. And then like on these songs too, like he didn't go for these like big like features either, which I liked. Like he put on a lot of like newer artists that we had never heard of before.
Yeah.
And I like that because in his other songs, he's collabed with like Bad Bunny, Daddy Yankee, like so many different people. So it was nice to see like smaller artists that he's like putting them on as well.
Yeah, like that. Just, you know, paving the way for other new and upcoming artists to make a name for themselves as well. Yeah,
and then he has Otra No with Zion and Bryant Myers, which I really like too. That's part of our top 5.
Bryant Myers.
Baby. La Z, pero no la L.
Yeah.
Like, just... That was a good one, huh?
No.
But anyways, it was it was hard to come down to that top 5. So our honorable mention is TBC, because we liked that it was like a slower like vibe. Like it wasn't all just, you know, perreo dancing. Like it was like a side to him where he's like singing and it's not just like rapping and stuff. So yeah, I give that album a 9.
I gave it a solid 8 out of 8. 8 out of 10.
Oh, I was like 8 out of 8.
8 out of 13. Wait, what?
Huh?
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 Uh-huh.
But yeah, speaking of Anita though, I feel like she's one of the artists that have been like putting in work. Like she had that song with Mike Towers and Cardi B. She has music with I think J Balvin, and I don't know. I just feel like correct. Well, I don't know if how you feel about it, but I feel like it is harder for female artists to kind of make a name for themselves.
Yeah, I can see that because the obvious stigma is that when you see a female artist or producer or actress make it to the big time, most guys will say, "Oh, she probably slept with somebody to get to that position," and
Yeah.
unfortunately, that stigma has kind of stuck to the portrayal of a female artist. And, it really comes down to the personality or character of that, female artist, that woman. Like, she could either say, like, I'm not going to let what other people say affect me. And I'm just going to keep putting in work, keep putting out music, keep putting out, records, and let that speak for itself. I think that's why some women are kind of hesitant to breaking out in the music scene.
Or they have to like portray themselves in a certain way, like have a like sexy look or something. I think like it's. I feel like for a really long time people were like, why does Billie Eilish like dress like that, like this and like that? And it's like she doesn't want people to talk about her body, and like I feel like it's very easy to compare her to like other female artists that are like at the top of their game right now, like Megan Thee Stallion, Cardi B, and like all of the like the smaller like rappers that are like Sweetie, Lotto, Ruby Rose, like all these upcoming like female artists that it's like they dress a certain way, but that's because they love their bodies and they're like, I don't care what people think, I'm gonna dress how I want to and show off my body. And then there's like other females that are like, well, I love my body, I just don't want people like talking about it. And Anita's one of those that she's like, I don't care what people say. Like in Brazil, that's like a huge thing to just, like show off your body because why not? But I do feel like she's like one of those artists that you like think about it and you're like, wow, like you've had like a lot of really good collabs and good music. Like, why aren't you like a little bit bigger than you are now?
Yeah.
But I just feel like in general, it's probably a little bit harder for females to make a name for themselves, compared to their male counterparts.
Yeah, especially since Nicki Minaj, like she just released an album.
Beat me up, Scotty. Yeah.
She just released an album, and that is another example, another female artist having to pave a way for so many other, now female rappers. And you see, like, she was one of the pioneers to start it. Yeah, on the song that she has, Seeing Green, with Lil Wayne and Drake.
Drake?
Yeah, like that whole like, Young Money label has really paved the way for, other labels to make a name for themselves, to start from the bottom up and just, have that blueprint of success. Speaking of Drake, he was just named the Artist of the Decade. I know that's a really big accolade. That's something impressive, very few artists have been able to accomplish. Yeah, I want to ask, did you agree or disagree with that award? Or if you did or did not, like who did you think would be capable of, winning that award, if not Drake?
I definitely feel like Drake, out of everyone, deserved that award. I feel like he's been extremely consistent, like year after year, releasing music, and they're like all hits. It's hard to even think of someone who would be like on that consistency level of like a whole like 10 years, like just dropping music that has like paved the way for many other different artists to like have that style of music. Or he's also like put on a lot of like different like up and coming artists as well, like Giveon. I love him. And I don't know who else would get that award if like Drake didn't exist. Like for these last 10 years, I don't know who else.
Yeah, it's really hard to say. Like on the rap side, perhaps Kendrick Lamar or J. Cole or on the female side, like obviously you could say Beyonce, or I know Taylor Swift, is up there as well, but
Mhm.
it couldn't come down to just a handful of artists. But I
Yeah.
do feel like since Drake has put up, had an influence in so many people's up and coming careers, he's featured on a lot of other artists, songs or albums, and because of that one song, that artist was able to polish and make a name for themselves and just blossom into a better artist than they were. So because of Drake.
Yeah. I do agree, like, Beyonce would be a really good one. I just feel like Drake is more, like, consistent, though, like, on dropping music, like, even if it's not for him, like you said, being on other artists. Obviously, like, Beyonce took a break, like, she has, like what, like, 3 kids now? Like, she's reached a level where she's kind of, like, just chilling right now, and I feel like Drake, like, every year drops, like, music.
Yeah.
We're still waiting on this year, but...
Yeah.
You got any of that certified lover boy around there?
Yeah, I'm about to have that haircut,
The little star. The little star. Wow, the heart. Stop. No, and he teased us with the little...
Huh? Star? Am I the star in your life? What is that?
He teased us with, like, a little snippet of music, so I just feel like that means, like, he's getting to that point where he's almost ready to release, but, like, who knows? It's Drake.
Nobody knows.
But yeah, speaking of artists that he's, like, kind of put on or, has collabed music-wise, and they've become, like, these huge, stars and really well-known. I do want to talk about The Weeknd. Mm-hmm. He, like, keeps getting, like, all these, like, I think record-shattering, like, awards everywhere. And
mega hits.
Yeah, like, he's become a huge superstar, like, on his own. How did you feel about the Save Your Tears remix? I know we asked you guys, and you guys voted that you liked the original way better. The remix being with Ariana Grande. How did you feel?
Didn't listen to it.
Bueno. I did. I liked it. But I don't know. It's like one of those remixes that, like how we spoke about it in that one episode that we had where we talked about remix culture and whatnot.
Yeah.
That it's like the song is already so good that you put, someone else on the remix and you're like, oh, okay, like that was good, but I still think the first one was like way better, like it would have been totally fine if he would have left it untouched.
Yeah, most people... 80% of the people that voted that the original was better. And yeah, I feel like every time The Weeknd is on a track, it feels like the track is just better with him on it because he has such a distinct type of, music and style that when another person is introduced, it kind of messes with the flow of the song, I would say. Yeah,
even though Ariana Grande is amazing, like she hits those notes that I feel like nobody except her and maybe like Mariah Carey sometimes on a good day can hit. And I feel like she did kind of change her style a little bit for like to be on the remix, so it's like a little bit like lower. But they both are like huge, like I guess like pop stars now, and it was really cool to see them collab and have someone like The Weeknd collab with someone like Ariana Grande. But yeah, I do feel like I liked it, but it's kind of like, oh, like I like the original better, honestly. Like the remix wasn't like, wow, it's way better.
Yeah.
So, song of the week.
Song of the week.
Round of applause. What would you say was for your English side? What was your song of the week?
English side, without a doubt. Like on my hand. Like on my hand from J. Cole's Off Season is my song of the week. The whole album has been on repeat, for me for the past 2 weeks. Like on my hand, it portrays such a vivid story and basically his thought process and he wasn't afraid to be humble and say like, hey, I had a fear of getting punched or, getting jumped or, getting shot. And you don't hear many rappers say that. Like, a lot of rappers nowadays, they're
super gangster.
Yeah, fearless or not, the Pop Mollies or whatever. But and I'm sweating.
Whew.
But,
I had to do it. Oh my god.
sweating.
Mine, I feel like it might catch you off guard. But it was actually I Like That by T-Pain and Kehlani. Because it's like bringing back, like for me, every time I hear him, it's like bringing back like old school like R&B. And then collabing with Kehlani, who I feel like is like super slept on, was like a nice like mix of both like new school and old school. Like the song is just about like him liking that the girl doesn't need anybody to pay for her stuff, you know, like she's very independent.
Yeah.
You know, he's like, oh, she doesn't work a 9 to 5, she got the keys to the shop. And I'm like, oh, that's gonna be me soon, like one day, no 9 to 5. I me soon, like one day, no 9 to 5. I work 8 to 5, but yeah, I just like the whole song. And it's funny because I recently saw on like Instagram where he realized that there was like a whole like separate section of like message requests. And he was like just scrolling through it, and there were like all these artists that were like, hey, like reaching out to him. He was like, wow, this whole time I didn't even know this existed. I didn't like respond to any of you. So I just feel like now he's gonna be collabing with like a lot more people, and we're gonna hear him like a lot this upcoming year.
Yeah, he was checking his DMs, and there's a lot of people in there. There was a video with him and Jamie Foxx, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And Jamie Foxx, you know, is a man with a multitude of talents, and that'll be a great collaboration, you know.
And for my Spanish side, I picked A.M. by Niño Garcia and Flo La Movie, because even though this song came out like a couple of weeks ago, so it's not brand new, it just is super catchy and it gets like stuck in your head. It has like a nice beat, like where you can dance to it, but you can just like jam it out in your car. And then there was like that video that we saw like a couple days ago where it's like from like he's counting from like 1 to 10 throughout like the whole like chorus, I think. And I just thought it was so funny. So every time I hear it now, I'm like, tú eres número uno como tú no hay dos. Quiero irte en cuatro. Like, it just keeps going from like 1 to 10. I think it's really funny. I think Niño Garcia is like one of those artists that he was like on a lot of, like he's featured in a lot of other artist songs. So it was really nice to see him like be the main person on this song. And it's a hit. It's a jam.
Yeah, it's a home run.
Yeah. Loaded bases. Dun, dun, dun. But anyway.
No hitter. My Spanish song of the week is Todo de Ti from Raúl Alejandro. It doesn't have like a reggaeton vibe, to be honest. It's more like a pop feel. Yeah, you can't help but to dance to this song. Like, honestly, Raúl Alejandro, he's really making a name for himself from his latest album, Afrodisiaco, and all the songs that he's been featured on, or he has, you know, plenty of singles with other people featuring on his songs. This is a song where like there's no way I can't dance to this, even though like it kind of has a like really pop feel to it. But yeah, he has an amazing voice. From all the reggaetoneros right now, like I believe he has the best voice. He's the most talented. Like he can also dance as well.
Yeah, because in this one he's kind of like more singing.
Yeah,
and then on the other ones, like it's like a combination of either singing or kind of like rapping. But yeah, I definitely think with this new pop, I'm like, dang, did he cut his hair and like now he's like a brand new person?
yeah, he definitely changed his hairstyle. I'm like, dang, I wish I had that much hair. Actually, no, that'd be a lot to me too.
Yeah, but yeah, it was really different from what he's released in the past. But yeah, it was like really catchy. I like that song too.
Catchy, another baseball reference. That.
Let's go to a Dodger game.
I'm trying to.
So that's it for this week. Thank you for tuning in and watching us talk about, you know, all this music and our lame jokes.
What do you mean lame?
Especially from him. But yeah, we just wanted to say thank you, and we'll be posting this one following week.
Yes. Thanks for tuning in. We appreciate your patience as well again. And we'll be uploading with more frequency now that we have a new computer, a new Mac. So hopefully that'll make the new episodes with better quality and more frequency as well. So Thank you again.
And we finally reached 200 followers on our Instagram, so we just wanted to say thank you. It's like, you know, even though it might seem small, you're like 200. But to us, it means a lot. So, yeah, we just wanted to say we're so grateful and we feel blessed that you guys are, you know, following us on this journey and giving all this feedback. We really, really appreciate it.
From the bottom of our hearts.
So, like, elementary school. But, yeah, we'll catch you guys next time.
All right, peace. God bless.
Bye. No, because then you distract me and I have no idea what I'm going to say. You take away. Maury. I put Bass and Murray together. I said Bray. Hold it.
What was it called?
Beat me up, Scotty. Oh, beat me up, not beat.
Oh, beat me up. Okay. Oh. Huh? Okay. Indeed.
.com.
For the third time.
Just sponsor us already, man.
Please.